Making your first 100,000 is not as hard as you think whatsoever. $100,000 is a very achievable goal, because the thing is, you might land one big client within your business and that brings in a large majority of the revenue. It's not necessarily life-changing, because that one client that brings in all that revenue doesn't necessarily dictate the growth of your business. You have to strive for acquiring more clients as opposed to acquiring certain dollar amounts, because the dollar amounts don't necessarily mean anything. You might make $100K a year or even $1 million a year, but you might net negative 100,000 or negative 200,000. And then at that point, like, what does that dollar amount really mean? So you have to also strive for those profit goals and understand how to keep those margins as high as possible and as healthy as possible. And the one thing is, these profits, and a lot of people don't necessarily take this into consideration when running a business, these profits, yes, they're additional money, but this is the money that you're essentially going to be using to push back and fund your business. So at the end of the year, for me personally, I haven't paid myself in like 3 years. I've not paid myself whatsoever. And the reason being is I generated enough income from e-com businesses to the point where I kind of just set money aside in a bank account. And that's basically what I just live off of. There's absolutely no point of me paying myself out, especially right now as I'm trying to grow in consistency and grow to a point that I'm not gonna have to ever worry about money again. You guys have to understand where you're at in your business. Like, if you're looking to generate your first 10K a month, how are you gonna get there? This is a point where you guys don't understand. You have to be in the trenches as much as possible. You have to do as much hands-on labor as possible. Like, if you're running an e-com business and you have to make UGC and you don't have money to push into ads, then you're gonna have to start recording literally every single day, record ads all day, and that's all you invest your time into. And you're gonna have to post and generate organic content and try to generate views that way and make sales that way. Like, you have to really be in the trenches. If you guys have no money and you wanna have money to reinvest into your business, well, you're gonna have to work as much as possible in order to have that money, or you're gonna have to figure out where you can get it from. And this is hands down like one of the hardest times in business. One of the hardest times is working your way up from 0 to 10K a month, because you have absolutely no foundation. For the most part, you have no experience, you have no clients, nothing to work off of, and you also don't know what's gonna work. So it's a trial and error process when it comes down to testing and trying to make these things work, but at the same time, you don't have the most money to invest into failure. So you have to invest as much time as possible into trying to stack up a little bit of money so that you can reinvest. When I was coming up, I literally reinvested every single dollar I had back into my business. I ended up getting scammed on a course, and funny enough, the way the world works, it's a ripple effect. Everything you do is a ripple effect. I got scammed on a course, but I ended up meeting a very valuable business partner. It's my good friend to this day. And based on meeting him through that group that I got scammed on, I ended up meeting other people, because that's kind of how networking goes. If you prove yourself as a valuable individual to people and you prove yourself as a mutual benefit, then your network will always grow. You have to be able to prove to high value individuals that you're an individual that's worth them investing their time and energy in. At the end of the day, when it comes down to entrepreneurship, every business owner understands the fact that their life is business. There's not one day that you wake up and you're doing something that's not related to business. Me going to the gym right now is business for me, because the more that I discipline myself to wake up and go to the gym every single morning, the more disciplined I'll be within my business and the more focused I'll be within my business, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Going to the gym for me is a part of my entrepreneurship journey. If my body is not healthy, my mind will not be healthy and my business will not be healthy. And everything in life has a ripple effect when it comes to business. And so that being said, you going out and networking and trying to meet business owners and trying to meet high value individuals, how are you gonna prove yourself of value and make yourself seem like you can be of service or of help? That relationship could be mutually beneficial, that you could give them maybe a different perspective on life or their own business. Everything in life is a matter of perceived value, even when it comes down to selling products. You might have a product that you get for $8 or $10 and you sell it for $30 and it's working. Another person might not have as high perceived value as you, and they could sell it for $20 or $25, and that's what'll work for them, but that $30 price point won't work. And then you might have another brand come out and sell the exact same product and have an amazing perceived value, very high perceived value, and sell that same product for $100. I've seen it before. So it's the same way when it comes down to networking and building these relationships. That's essentially what's gonna help you get up to your first 10K a month, because you can sit in the trenches and grind all the way up to your first 10K a month, but you also have to be able to build those valuable partnerships, because those valuable partnerships are gonna allow you to grow, not just within life, but within your business. You have to see these different perspectives and go out and actually try to meet people. Get out of your comfort zone. Like go to all these master classes or whatever it is. They have free workshops and stuff like that. When I was coming up, I used basically, in Ottawa has the capital or the headquarters, whatever you call it, of the Shopify headquarters. And they used to have a workshop at the beginning of every month. I think it was the first Tuesday of every month. Although I knew based off going there, my first time, second time, that I wasn't gonna make that many valuable relationships, I also saw certain opportunities. So I was supposed to do a workshop of my own in person. And what ended up happening was we had a snow day, so it got canceled. But later on, I ended up actually going on they had like some Zoom thing or whatever it was, and there was a bunch of people on there basically just watching us, and I was talking about my own experience, and they ended up paying me out for it. So the thing is, you have to just put yourself in these situations and give yourself these opportunities that will allow you to grow within your business and within yourself. And that's probably the easiest way for you to grow in all aspects of your life, is just networking. Networking will give you, or will put you in a position to have certain opportunities. Because at the end of the day, people know people, and that's why you have, large corporations with a whole bunch of employees, because all these employees together will essentially create something that's gonna be successful. So you have to network not only with the right type of individuals, but you have to be able to remove yourself from your circle and understand that everybody within your group doesn't have the same mindset, dreams, or aspirations as you. And I've seen this time and time again. The people that I'm friends with today, I wasn't even necessarily friends with when I was back in high school. And the guys that I went to high school with, yeah, I'm cool with a lot of them, but at the end of the day, we're all in different fields, and they focus on what excels them in their field, and I focus on what excels me in my field. You only have 24 hours in a day. If you're working, if you're going from 0 to 10K a month, you're probably working at least 10 to 12 hours a day if you don't have a day job. And if you have a day job, you're probably working about 16 hours, and you don't have that much time to yourself. So think about those extra hours that you have. Is that something that you want to invest into things that aren't necessarily going to bring you an ROI? Are the people that you're bringing into your business just there for the ride, just in case you make it, they want a piece of the pie? Are they actually there on the same path, same wavelength, and same journey as you to try and, break boundaries with you and try to grow through these hard times? Are they willing to take certain L's with you? Are they willing to take certain losses? I've always been willing, if I'm going into business with somebody, I'm always willing to lose money. I'm always willing to lose money in order to test something. What does it matter? I've lost so much money on my journey of entrepreneurship and trying to work my way up. I've lost so much money to the point where I'm not scared to lose money. At the end of the day, it's testing experiences, and it teaches you stuff. It's lessons. You're gonna make it back at some point. And if you go to zero, God forbid that happens, but you just have to work. And you also have to put yourself in that mindset where you understand that money it's like Monopoly. Money is not real. Money is absolutely not real. It's a fictional thing that people fantasize about. Like, do you guys not realize we fantasize about plastic and paper? Like, I can go chop a tree and make paper. Like, we fantasize over things that are literally not real. So if your mind thinks, oh, $100 is a lot, then shit, you're gonna think $100 is a lot. But if you look at it in the grand scheme of things for what it actually is, it's just a piece of paper. A $100 bill is not anything different than a $1 bill, aside from the blue stripe. The value that's on that paper, once again, it comes down to perceived value. If our mind perceives that as $100, then that's the reason why it's $100. So you have to understand the same thing in your business. I see people sell services for $100, $200, $400, $500. I'll be able to go out and sell the same service for $5,000, $10,000. And the only reason why is because my mind genuinely believes that that's what it's worth, especially with the type of value and the type of quality that I invest into my businesses and the amount of time that I invest into my businesses to make sure that everything's ironed out. Of course, at the end of the day, we still run into issues and bottlenecks, but we work our way through it. And that's why I talk to a lot of our clients, and I'm telling them this year was one of the roughest years, hands down, and we're working our way through it. And I understand this stuff. You have to bet your money on winners. If you're bringing people within your business that have proven themselves to give up on a regular basis, that have proven themselves to be losers, they shouldn't be working with you. Bet your money on winners, because winners will make things work every single time. You have to make yourself a winner. Are you a winner? Bro, so many people come in my comments and talk about they quit this and they failed this. How did you fail, bro? How did you fail? You're not done. You're only 20. Or you're only 21. You're under 30. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's never too late to start something. The one thing I will say is that the type of businesses that we run in our generation, people under the ages, I want to say of 35, understand things in a different way than people that are above the age of 35. That's why they have their own business models. A lot of their business models are a lot more by let's say, old school type of ways to function, and that's what works for them, because that's what their minds can understand and generate income from. For us, the people that are our age, our minds work off of a different type of business. So that's why I don't necessarily go out and talk to people that are above the age of 35 or 40, because for the most part, they don't understand the type of businesses that we operate. They don't understand how things work within our generation. And that's why we're successful in our field and they're successful in their own fields. You have to understand where people can offer value. One of the biggest things I've learned personally from being a business owner is that you need all kinds of different people within your business, because people perceive things and understand things in a different way, and they can add value in different places. You as a business owner, especially when you're bringing on staff, have to understand what are people's strong points, what are they good at. And my issue, and I've learned this time and time again, my issue, parking here? Oh yeah, my issue is that I believe that anybody's capable of anything, but just because anybody's capable of anything doesn't mean that they're going to be the greatest person for it, or the most fit person for the job. Some people are passionate about different things. You might have one person that's passionate about graphic design and web development, and another person that's passionate about video editing. Yes, the person that's passionate about web design might be able to be a video editor, but because they're not passionate about that video editing, they're not going to invest the most time and energy into perfecting the video editing, and vice versa. A video editor might be able to come in and build a website, but they're not going to be the best suited person for that job, because they're not passionate about building those websites and making them look as good as possible. So understand where people can apply value and move things around, test different things, and get feedback all the time from everybody you work with. You have to be able to hear people out and understand where they're coming from, and allow people to work to the best of their ability. Feed them with what benefits them. And that's probably the biggest thing within your business, because at the end of the day, these are all people that you're working with, and if they're not feeling good about the situation they're in or the position that you're putting them in, they're not going to perform well. At the end of the day, you also have to be able to look at everybody as humans. I look at all you guys as humans. I understand that you guys all have feelings, emotions, and might go through mental strains the same way as I do when it comes down to business and operating things. Like, you guys do have your personal lives, but you being in the position you're in your personal life, there's certain things that you have to be able to set aside in order to get to that next level. Like, no point in time was I ever sitting here when I was starting businesses saying, oh shit, I'm sad, like I'm gonna work today, or like going through this right now, it's hard. Like, the fuck does it matter if it's hard? Life is hard, especially if you're a man. And a lot of you guys that I'm trying to relate to are people, once again, that were in the position that I was once in before. So you have to understand, like, bro, men, we're supposed to suffer. This is the stuff that we're supposed to go through. If you're 17, 18, like, life is hard, bro. Life will slap you across the fucking face, and then you're not gonna understand what to do. So you have to be able to get hit in the face and get back up every single time. Every single time. And you have to understand how that works, especially being a man. So I'm about to go into the gym right now, so that's probably gonna mark the end of the video here. And yeah, hope you guys learned something from this video and hear me speaking out to you, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to make this work. Your back's against the wall. The only way you could go is up. And yeah, for all you guys that comment, I'll get back to you. And aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.